Today's read aloud is called It's Too Noisy, written by Joanna, illustrated by Kate Duke. Once there was a little house. Do you know who lived there? A poor farmer lived in that little house with his wife, a grandmother, a grandfather, lots of children, and a little baby in a crib. Day and night there was always a lot of yelling, singing, snoring, laughing, fighting, and crying. It was too noisy. The poor farmer wanted quiet. He went to the wise man. Wise man, he said, my house is full of people. It is too noisy. Tell me what to do. The wise man closed his eyes. He thought and thought. This is what to do, he said. Bring your rooster and your chickens in the house. That's a funny thing to do, thought the farmer, but he did what the wise man told him. He got his rooster and his chickens, and he put them in his house. That night, there was a lot of yelling, singing, snoring, laughing, fighting, and crying. And now there was also a lot of clucking and crowing, too. It was much too noisy. The next day, the farmer went back to the wise man. I put the rooster and the chickens in the house, he said, but it's worse than ever. Then you must put your pigs and your sheep in the house, said the wise man. That's a very funny thing to do, he thought, but he did what the wise man said. That night, there was yelling and singing, snoring and laughing, fighting and crying, clucking and crowing, and now there was oinking and baying, too. It was even worse than before. The farmer went back to the wise man. Noise, 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 he said. I cannot stand it anymore. The wise man said, now put your donkey and your cow in the house. Is that wise man crazy, thought the farmer? But he did what the wise man said. He put his donkey and his cow in the house. Now there was yelling and singing, snoring and laughing, fighting and crying, clucking and crowing, oinking and baying, and now braying and mooing. It was so noisy, the farmer did not sleep at all that night. The farmer went back to the wise man one last time. Wise man, my house is like a barn. I can't stand it. The wise man smiled. Here is what to do, he said. Take all the animals out of the house. The farmer ran home. He did just what the wise man said. He put out the chickens. He put out the rooster. He put out the pigs. He put out the sheep and the donkey and the cow. Was the little house still noisy? Yes. There was still yelling and singing. There was still snoring and laughing. There was even some fighting and crying, but there was no clucking, no crowing, no oinking, no baying, and thank heaven there was no mooing or braying either. Come here, let's finish the story. And to the farmer, the little house seemed as quiet as can be. So boys and girls, as we're living in close quarters with our family and we can't really get outside very much, think about that story. Things could be a lot worse than they really are, right? Have a great day.